Every single day, thousands of British families walk into McDonald's thinking they're grabbing a quick breakfast before work, a simple meal deal at lunch, or a cheap dinner after picking up the kids. They think they know what they're eating. They don't. Because what you see on the menu board and what's actually going inside your body are two completely different things. We're talking about food that's been engineered in central factories, pumped full of ingredients you'd never use at home, and designed to sit under heat lamps for hours without changing texture or appearance. And the worst part? McDonald's UK banks on you, never asking what's really in it. By the end of this video, we're going to show you the exact menu items you should never touch again, the hidden, ultra-processed ingredients in products marketed as fresh and healthy, and why the entire system behind those golden arches is built to deceive you, not feed you. The breakfast trap. Your McMuffin isn't what you think. Picture this. It's 7:30 on a Tuesday morning. You're running late for work, you skip breakfast at home, and you think, I'll just grab a bacon and egg McMuffin on the way. It feels like a decent choice, right? Egg, bacon, a muffin. Simple, real. Something your nan might have made you on a Sunday morning. Wrong. Let's start with that English muffin. You think it's just flour, water, and yeast. But McDonald's UK version contains wheat flour, sure, but also muffin mix with wheat gluten, dough acidifier made from rye, preservatives like calcium propionate, emulsifiers including mono and diacetyl tartaric acid, esters of mono and diglycerides of fatty acids, acidity regulators, antioxidants, rapeseed oil, sugar, and day-activated yeast. That's not a muffin, that's a science experiment. These emulsifiers and preservatives exist for one reason: to make sure that muffin can survive being made in a central factory, shipped across the UK, and still look and taste identical, whether you buy it in Glasgow or Guildford. Now the bacon. McDonald's UK bacon contains pork, salt, and here's the kicker: sodium nitrite as a preservative, plus sodium ascorbate as an antioxidant. Sodium nitrite is used to keep the bacon looking bright pink and extending its shelf life for mass distribution. But that same preservative has been linked to poisonous residual heavy metals in processed meats. And the egg? That part's actually just egg. But by the time you've added the processed cheese slice with its own set of emulsifiers and the liquid vegetable and dairy fat blend they use instead of real butter, you're eating something that's barely recognizable as the simple breakfast you thought you ordered. This McMuffin wasn't assembled fresh in your local McDonald's kitchen this morning. It was engineered weeks ago, partially prepared in factories around the UK, frozen or chilled, shipped in bulk to warehouses, then trucked to your local branch, where it was reheated and held in warming cabinets. And the ingredients are specifically chosen to survive that entire journey without spoiling, separating, or changing texture. That's why it tastes the same every single time. Because it's industrial food designed for scale, not nutrition. And just when you think you've dodged that problem by skipping breakfast, the lunch menu hits you from a completely different angle. The healthy lie, McPlant, and the vegan deception. Let's talk about the McPlant. McDonald's UK launched this vegan burger with massive fanfare, positioning it as the ethical choice, the healthy choice, the choice for people who care about what goes into their bodies. It's made with a Beyond Meat patty, and it comes with vegan cheese, vegan sandwich sauce, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onion, ketchup, and mustard on a sesame seed bun. Sounds clean, right? Sounds like real food, like something you'd feel good about eating, or even better, feeding to your kids if they've gone plant-based. Here's what they don't tell you. That Beyond Meat patty is made from water, pea protein, rapeseed oil, coconut oil, rice protein, methyl cellulose, potato starch, apple extract, salt, pomegranate extract, natural flavors, and a laundry list of other ultra-processed ingredients designed to mimic the texture, color, and taste of beef. Methyl cellulose, by the way, is a thickening agent also used in wallpaper paste and laxatives. The vegan sandwich sauce, mostly mustard, lemon juice concentrate, spices like garlic and onion seasoning, paprika, turmeric, vinegar, rapeseed oil, modified maize starch, thickeners like xanthan gum, and salt. The vegan cheese is processed with emulsifiers to keep it from separating during storage and reheating. This is not a whole food, plant-based meal. This is an ultra-processed vegan product engineered in a lab to taste like meat, held together with industrial thickeners and stabilizers, and fried or grilled using seed oils. Across all major fast food chains, 85% of menu items are now classified as ultra-processed foods, and the three most common ultra-processed ingredients found on every single menu are natural flavors, xanthan gum, and citric acid. McDonald's McPlant ticks every single one of those boxes. And here's the part that should really alarm you. People are buying the McPlant thinking they're making a healthier choice. Parents are ordering it for their teenagers who've decided to go vegan. Fitness-conscious Brits are choosing it over a beef burger because they think it's cleaner, lighter, better for them. But what they're actually eating is a heavily processed patty made with seed oils, thickeners, and flavor enhancers. wrapped in a bun that contains emulsifiers and preservatives, topped with a processed cheese slice and a sauce thickened with modified starch. It's just as engineered, just as far from real food as anything else on the menu. The only difference is the marketing. But this next item is even worse, because it pretends to be simple. The fries. Why UK fries are different and still dangerous. McDonald's fries are the most famous menu item on the planet. And if you live in the UK, you might have heard that British McDonald's fries are somehow better, cleaner, less processed than the American version. And technically, that's true. In the United States, McDonald's fries contain more than 10 ingredients, including natural beef flavor made with wheat and milk derivatives, dextrose, sodium acid pyrophosphate, hydrogenated soybean oil, and TBHQ, a petroleum-based preservative also found in varnishes and pesticides. In Europe, McDonald's lists just 4 ingredients: potatoes, non-hydrogenated rapeseed oil, dextrose, and salt. Sounds better, doesn't it? But let's be very clear about what that actually means. Yes, UK fries don't contain beef flavoring or TBHQ, but they're still fried in rapeseed oil, which is a seed oil linked to inflammation when consumed in large amounts over time. They still contain dextrose, which is added sugar used to enhance browning and flavor. And they're still made using a 2-stage frying process, where the potatoes are partially fried at a central processing facility, frozen, shipped to restaurants, and then fried again in a vat of more seed oil before being served to you. Here's the part McDonald's UK doesn't advertise. These fries are designed to taste identical whether you buy them fresh or 20 minutes after they've been sitting in the warmer. Real potatoes, fried in real fat like beef tallow or even olive oil, don't behave that way. They go soggy, they lose their crunch, they change texture and flavor. But McDonald's fries don't, because they've been engineered with just enough dextrose and processed in just the right type of industrial seed oil to stay crispy and golden for as long as possible. That's not a sign of quality, that's a sign of heavy processing. And just when you think that's the worst of it, McDonald's serves these fries to millions of British children every single week as part of Happy Meals, convincing parents that a portion of fries and a carton of milk somehow balances out the ultra-processed chicken nuggets sitting next to them. If you think that's bad, wait until you see what they did with the chicken nuggets. Chicken McNuggets, the original ultra-processed icon. Chicken McNuggets have been a McDonald's staple since the 1982. And in the UK, they're still one of the most popular menu items, especially with kids. Parents order them thinking they're giving their children real chicken, protein, something wholesome. But let's break down what's actually inside a McDonald's chicken nugget. The ingredient list includes white boneless chicken, water, vegetable oil including canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil, and hydrogenated soybean oil, enriched bleached wheat flour, yellow corn flour, vegetable starch modified from corn, wheat, rice, and pea, salt, leavening agents, spices, yeast extract, lemon juice solids, dextrose, and natural flavors. And that's just the nugget itself. They're then fried in more vegetable oil containing TBHQ and citric acid as preservatives, with dimethylpolysiloxane added as an anti-foaming agent. Dimethylpolysiloxane is the same chemical found in silly putty, contact lenses, shampoos, and breast implants. It's been removed from chicken nuggets sold in the UK, but even without it, you're still eating a product that's more processed flour, seed oils, and stabilizers than actual chicken. McDonald's lists the chicken content, but the nugget is bulked out with starches, oils, and flour to make it cheaper to produce, easier to freeze and ship, and more consistent in texture. And here's what really matters. This isn't chicken you'd recognize if you walked into a butcher's shop. It's mechanically processed, mixed with binders and fillers, shaped into identical nugget forms, battered with chemically leavened flour, partially fried, frozen, shipped across the country, and fried again in seed oils before being handed to your 7-year-old in a red cardboard box with a toy. It can sit in a warming tray under heat lamps for over an hour and still taste the same, look the same, feel the same. Real chicken doesn't do that. Industrial chicken does. And the truly disturbing part? Parents are buying these for children every single day, thinking they're feeding them protein, while McDonald's markets them as fun, tasty, and convenient. What they're actually feeding them is ultra-processed food designed to survive mass production, not nourish growing bodies. But there's one more menu item that might be the most deceptive of all: the milkshake. Liquid sugar, posing as a treat. Let's talk about McDonald's milkshakes. A large strawberry milkshake in the UK contains 74 grams of sugar, with about 50 grams of that being added sugar. That's more than 160% of the maximum recommended daily sugar intake for an adult, and nearly double the daily limit for a child. A small milkshake, the size that comes with most kids' Happy Meals, still contains 29.2 grams of sugar, including 19.8 grams of added sugar, which is 83% of the recommended daily added sugar intake for a 7 to 10-year-old child. And here's the part that should enrage you. These milkshakes are exempt from the UK sugar tax because they're classified as a source of calcium due to their milk content. So McDonald's gets to sell a drink containing more sugar than a can of Coca-Cola, marketed as part of a children's meal, and avoid the tax designed to discourage exactly this kind of product. But it's not just the sugar. These milkshakes are made with ice cream base, flavoured syrups, and whipped cream, all of which contain emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial or natural flavours to keep the texture smooth and consistent, even after sitting in a machine for hours. A small chocolate shake contains 520 calories and 14 grams of fat. That's more calories than many people should be consuming in an entire meal, and McDonald's is handing it to children as a drink to go alongside their nuggets and fries. Parents think they're giving their kids a treat. What they're actually giving them is a liquid sugar bomb designed to spike blood glucose, crash energy levels an hour later, and train young taste buds to crave hyper-sweet, ultra-processed foods for the rest of their lives. And that's just the start. Because even if you avoid every single one of these menu items, there's a much bigger problem hiding behind the scenes. The system that can't guarantee your safety. This isn't just about bad ingredients or too much sugar. This is about a centralized food production system that, by its very design, can't always protect you. McDonald's UK sources its food from factories spread across the country. Raw materials are collected from suppliers, processed into edible products, partially cooked in some cases, packed in bulk, and then transported to McDonald's branches nationwide. Everything is centralized. One factory makes the buns for hundreds of restaurants, another processes the chicken, another handles the bacon. Warehouses store enormous amounts of food, paper products, and supplies, and then trucks deliver them on a regular schedule to every single McDonald's location across the UK. Here's why that matters. When something goes wrong at one of those central factories, it doesn't just affect one restaurant, it affects thousands of locations at once. In 2024, McDonald's in the United States experienced an E. coli outbreak linked to contaminated onions used in quarter pounders. At least 104 people became ill, 34 were hospitalized, and one person died. The contaminated onions were traced back to a single supplier, Taylor Farms. But because McDonald's operates on a centralized distribution system, those onions were shipped to restaurants across 14 states before anyone realized there was a problem. The same thing happened in the UK with allergen labeling. In some cases, mustard ended up in products that weren't supposed to contain it, forcing recalls and warnings from the Food Safety Authority of Ireland. Britvic fruit shoot bottles sold at McDonald's UK locations, Tesco, and Costco had to be recalled because the drinking spout could detach and pose a choking hazard to children. McDonald's salads in the United States were pulled from 3,000 restaurants after more than 430 people across 15 states contracted a parasite linked to contaminated romaine lettuce and carrots in a Fresh Express salad mix. These aren't isolated incidents. These are the inevitable consequences of a food system designed for speed, scale, and profit, not safety. When you produce food in massive quantities, ship it across an entire country, and rely on a handful of central suppliers, you create a single point of failure. And when that point fails, thousands of people are exposed before anyone even knows there's a problem. Now picture this. You're a parent buying a Happy Meal for your child who has a severe nut allergy. You trust the label. You trust the brand. You trust that McDonald's has checked and double-checked everything. But if there's a labeling error at the central factory, or a contamination during processing, or a mix-up in the warehouse, your child is at risk, and you won't know until it's too late. This isn't just about bad ingredients. It's about a system that's proven it can't always guarantee your safety, even while you keep trusting the logo above the door. What you can do instead. So what do you do? Because we all know life is busy. You're not going to cook 3 meals a day from scratch. You've got work, you've got kids, you've got 1,000 other things pulling you in every direction. But here's the thing. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be aware. Start by making simple food at home when you can. Scrambled eggs and toast for breakfast takes 5 minutes. A sandwich with real cheese, real meat, and real vegetables takes 3. Porridge with fruit costs pennies and fills you up for hours. When you're shopping, check the ingredient list. If it's got more than 5 or 6 ingredients and half of them sound like they belong in a chemistry lab, put it back. Choose products with shorter lists. Recognizable ingredients. Real food. When you do eat out, choose independent cafes, local bakeries, butchers, fishmongers, places where you can see the food being made, where the person serving you can tell you exactly what's in it. And if you're stuck and you absolutely have to grab something fast, at least know what you're eating. Don't pretend the McPlant is healthy. Don't convince yourself the milkshake is just a harmless treat. Don't feed your kids chicken nuggets every week and act surprised when they won't eat real chicken at home. These McDonald's products aren't evil, but they're not designed to nourish you. They're designed to be cheap, fast, consistent, and profitable. And every time you buy one, you're voting with your wallet for a food system that prioritizes all of those things over your health, your safety, and your family's future. Next time you walk past McDonald's, remember what's really inside those McMuffins, those McNuggets, those milkshakes, and those fries. If you wouldn't cook with methyl cellulose, sodium nitrite, dimethyl polysiloxane, and hydrogenated seed oils at home, why would you let this place feed them to you every single day?